Back, everyone, taking a live look outside the Mission Ridge camera. That's we're putting it on a T for you, Cedric. You know what it looks like out there?
What it looks like?
I see off in the distance a little bit of cold air moving in. Am I right? Am I wrong?
You know, you may be right there a little bit, Paul, as
All
we
right.
do have a change in the seasons happening, and we're kind of right in the middle of that as we speak. So let me show you what's going on right now with our temperatures, of course, out there. We're at 68 degrees currently in Chattanooga with a dew point of 44. So you're saying 68? That's not bad. Fairly pleasant out there this afternoon. The wind is beginning to pick up out of the west, and eventually that's going to shift to out of the north and west, and our friends along the plateau are already seeing that. So again, as we look at the current map here, you'll be able to see 69 degrees in Dalton, 68 Scottsboro, 67 in Murphy, but notice the 60s give way to 50s as you get up towards the plateau, and it gets even colder to the north. So Nashville sitting in the mid-50s at 56 degrees right now. Notice the 40s there from St. Louis over towards Indianapolis. So we do have a lot of cold air that's lurking off to the north and west. It is lagging behind the cold front itself a little bit, but don't worry, that cold air is knocking on our doorsteps and will be here as we go into this afternoon, heading into the evening hours. So earlier, if you were thinking about this weekend, we had a beautiful weekend. Friday, high temperatures climbing into the mid-70s. We jumped into the 80s on your Saturday. Same thing for your Sunday. It was just a warm, pleasant weekend. Now today is the day of change, 68 degrees. That's pretty much where we're sitting right now. But as we go throughout this afternoon, those temperatures will likely start to fall a little bit as that cold air arrives. And notice as we go into the next couple of days, temperatures are going to be way below where they were over the weekend by some 30 degrees or so. So some big time cold air heading our way. Let's talk about the high temperatures today. And of course, this afternoon, we're looking at those highs. Basically, where you are now is pretty much where you're going to be for a daytime high. You may add a degree or two in some spots, but overall, mid to upper 60s across the valley areas with highs only in the 50s up along the plateau. And then we've got to talk about the cold air arriving. So the average first frost here in Chattanooga is usually right around the Halloween time frame. We typically talk about the potential of seeing frost on the pumpkins out there. And then the average first freeze is usually not until November the 9th. But we're obviously looking at that happening well before that time frame. In fact, tonight, the entire Tennessee Valley is under a freeze warning, and we're expecting those temperatures to go near or below freezing in many spots across the region here. So when, again, they issue the freeze warning, it basically gives you a heads up that we're talking about the end of the growing season approaching here. So with the widespread freezing temperatures expected, then that means that some of those crops or products that you may have outside may be damaged or even killed during this situation. And of course, you've also got to think about the plants that you may have out on your balcony and the patio. Bring those on inside or cover them up, and of course, don't forget about the pets as well with some of these extreme temperatures. So where are we expected to go? Well, overnight lows expected to be well down into the 20s across areas north and east of the city. 25 in Murphy, 27 in Blue Ridge, 29 in Athens, 27 Altamont, about 30 in Fort Payne, and 31 degrees in Scottsboro. And then as we look at your records, we're not expecting any records, at least in the near term, for Chattanooga, because those records are in the 20s the next few mornings. I think we'll stay in the low 30s, but as we get towards Thursday, we may get a little closer to flirting with that record low. But either way, it's going to be some dangerous cold. And then tomorrow, highs are going to struggle to get out of the 40s in many spots. In fact, I think in the valley areas, we may hit the low 50s. That 53 in Chattanooga, if we tie that or be just below it, then that would tie or break a record all-time low high temperature. So what does that mean? One of the coldest days we've ever seen this early in the season. Of course, our average highs are in the mid 70s right now. Average highs in the mid-50s usually don't arrive until December. So we are definitely going to be looking at some very chilly temperatures. And then we talk about temperatures warming up as we head towards the weekend. So your 7-day forecast, blustery, 68 for your Monday, much colder for your Tuesday and Wednesday, well below normal. And then we'll try to warm things up heading into the weekend, Paul. But look at those morning lows at or below freezing for the next several days.